Hello, welcome back to Rosedale Conversations.
We're glad you joined us.
So the very first thing you probably noticed, I hope you noticed, is it's not Wednesday, is it?
No, it's not. It's Monday.
We have moved to a new day and time. So now, instead of being on Wednesdays, we're going to be on Mondays at 3 o'clock. And we are so glad that you got that message, or maybe you accidentally stumbled upon us. We're so glad that you're here. We are excited to have you for the second ever taping of Rosedale Conversations. So
Absolutely.
welcome.
And we're excited to share with you some of the guests and events that will be happening on our upcoming shows. But first, we want to share with you a change that we're having at Rosedale.
Yes, so this is exciting for us. We are growing and expanding, so we have added a new business partner. She couldn't be here today. I'm going to have to coax her, I'm afraid. She's a little more shy. So we added a business partner this week, actually last week. Super exciting for us, and we'll have Heather come and hang with us another time, maybe next month.
Be introducing her here on the show, and Clara had to kind of coax me and convince me to join the show too.
True.
But here we are, so
That's true.
Making it fun. Absolutely. So we have very exciting. We have 2 books coming out in the next month. 2 authors who will be launching books, and the first one is a book by Tina Levine. You may remember her. She was on our first show. Her book, Heartbeat of a Real Leader, will be officially launching on September 14th. But next month, she'll be hosting a book launch party at Lions Lincoln Theater in Massillon, Ohio.
Super fun. I wish that I could go, but I cannot. But Christy gets to go.
Yay. I
really
just got back from the great state of Oregon, and I'm getting to travel again, so it's going to be really fun. I'll be going there for Tina's book launch to support her and to represent Rosedale. So Claire and I are really excited about that. And I'm personally excited because the little town of Massillon, Ohio is only 40 minutes away from my birthplace, and I have not been back there since I was 3 years old. So I'm going to be going back and reconnecting with some family and meeting some family for the first time. So it'll be an adventure for me, turning this book launch party into my own personal adventure trip.
She's actually pretty good at that. Let's see, where can I go and do work so I can write it off, right?
Still
have some fun. Yeah. So you may remember that she was out of town for 6 weeks, so she worked remotely, which thankfully our business allows for that to happen. But I definitely missed her, and I'm glad that she's back. But she's going to take off again.
Temporarily. Claire will be on vacation while I'm gone too, so don't let her fool you. And we also have another book coming out. It will be launching on August 20th, and that is So Alive After 55 by author Teresa Fowler Webb. And she and her husband Brad will be present on our next show.
Next
so
month.
Tune in to hear all about active adult living and all of the adventures involved in that.
Yeah, it's been kind of a fun book to work with them on. She's definitely a professional in that arena. Many years of working with the active adult community folks in real estate, and so we're excited to launch that book for them.
And we have lots of other projects on the books. We are working on memoirs, some business books, and even a children's book. So you'll want to tune in to hear all about our books. But we're also going to be connecting with people who are creating online content for multiple reasons. So
yeah, actually we have some authors coming up that are going to be kind of a companion for their book, having an online course. So that's a fun new adventure, helping us or letting us help them write the content for that has been kind of an exciting new piece to our business. So fun stuff.
Absolutely. So up to this point, our focus has been on books, but our focus is expanding just a little bit. We'll still be writing books, but we want the show to focus on content and the power of content and all that it can offer you when it comes to modern influence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
So we had a question.
We did have a question.
So we'd like to offer you an opportunity for future shows. email us at hello@craftingyourmessage.com, questions that you'd like to know about us or what we do, or just pop them up on our Facebook page and we'll answer.
Absolutely.
So today's question was, how did we get started? So,
Which is a fun question for us. So I've been writing for a really long time, business specifically. It started really, I'm going to say 94-ish, when I started writing marketing content for an online. It was like back then, websites were really nothing more than a brochure, an online brochure. And I had done some writing professionally before that, but this was my first opportunity to kind of work as freelance, independent, and I just had a knack for it. So I fell in love with that, helping that person, that piece where you help that person connect with their story, connect with their why, connect with what they have to say to who they're selling their product to, or whatever the application was. And I figured out that I was good at it. People kept coming and wanting to give me their money. Help me with this, Clara. So I did. So a lot of years of helping in the same arena as consulting, really, helping them start their business, grow their business, and then developing their content for them. So that was kind of my start. And then I met this wonderful lady that I now get to work with because she was starting a business.
yes, yeah, that was really fun. Clara and I met because I actually hired her to be my business consultant, and it was a good match for us. We worked together, we had a great time, and before we knew it, we had both kind of gone our own ways, me in one business, Clara in another, back when you had Perks Coffee Shop.
Yep.
And when we were both writing, we came back together. So I like to say, like, literally, I've written hundreds of books. And they're all entitled Christy's Journals, and nobody gets to read them. So,
or wants to, I'm sure, right?
oh, I don't know about that. You really don't want to read one of my journals? You're not even slightly curious?
No.
Oh, come on. Anyway, no, but in all seriousness, so I have always been a writer, always enjoyed writing, written all my life, put together my first little book actually before I was in kindergarten, because I was a quite early writer and reader. But when I started writing professionally, it happened because people tie their shoes. So
Because people tie their shoes.
So I was at a
Tell us
networking
more.
meeting, and the leader asked us all to write instructions on how to tie a shoe. So we had 5 minutes to do it. I took longer than everyone else to write my instructions because I was thorough, apparently. And nobody else's instructions worked, and mine ended up being passed around the room because everyone was utterly curious about why it took me so long to write instructions for how to tie a shoe, because apparently it takes almost 5 minutes to write good instructions for that. But based on that, I actually ended up being offered a job on the spot by a publisher, and they said they would send me a nice amount of money whether they liked what I did or not, and it would only take me an hour or two. So I gave them my email address, even though I tried to talk them out of it. And the next thing I knew, I'd been hired to write a few books. So I wrote a few books that summer. That was a few years ago, and I've been professionally writing ever since.
It's been fun. It's been we co-founded Rosedale Communications together. It's been a really fun journey for us to this point. So, interesting, you talked about the first book that you ever wrote. You were a really young child. Did you construct it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I've never heard that piece of our story before.
Did masking tape on the binding and
Ooh,
everything.
perfect bind.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make a book, you got to do it right.
So when I was 11, I actually took a bunch of notebook paper and string or ribbon or something and tied it all together and created my first book. I'm sure it was just terrible, but I wish that I had it, because it was my very first work where I said, I'm going to be a writer. Watch me create this book. And
yeah, I don't have it anymore. My teenage self decided that book was
Had to
not
go.
worthy of being kept.
had to go. Too fun. Yeah. So it's been a fun
bye-bye.
journey. That was a great question.
It
for
was a
us.
great question.
So what else is happening in Rosedale that we need to talk about before we run out of time, before our guests start coming on?
We are officially changing our name.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did do that
So
with our new partner.
We're just going to be Rosedale moving forward. No
Yeah.
longer Rosedale Communications. So it's all official.
Yes, it is official.
Communications will be going away. We'll just be
Rosedale.
Rosedale, and we'll be working on creating content and books and helping people build their online platforms and
Yeah.
doing some other fun pieces.
Let's us expand a little bit more. When you take out the communications piece, we're just all about content in general. So that was kind of a fun new change for us as well. We did add, month before last, we may not have talked about this before, but we added our new press mark, Rosedale Kids.
Oh, yes.
So that's a newer piece for us as well. We have one children's book out currently.
That was
That'll
written
be
by
our new-
Joanna, who was actually
DeLuca.
on our first show, and
Right.
her book, April's Amazing Adventures, is actually doing quite well.
It is. It went out under the Savvy Kids press mark. So we'll be shifting to Rosedale Kids, but fun stuff happening at Rosedale. So next we have a couple coming on to talk about their book that we're working with them on. So don't go away. We have to bring them on and introduce them and share their story and what's happening with their book and the process so far. So stay right where you're at. We will see you in a few minutes back here on Rosedale Conversations with Clara Rose and Christy
Dale.
Dale.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
And we're back. We're back. No warning. We're just back. We're live. That's all right. Welcome back. I have an amazing couple with me today, here to share their story a little bit about and why they're writing a book. This is Todd and Laura Shoemaker.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So sorry that I didn't get a countdown for you or anything. So you're just live. Jump in. We're just doing this.
Alrighty.
Okay. So Todd, why are you writing a book?
Well, that's a good question. I have been dealing with some health issues for the past 17 years.
17 years. Yeah.
And I've always been told I should write a book, and I just never felt the desire to write the book. But in the last probably 6 months to a year, I've just really felt God calling me to put my story out there. And really, we're writing the book to help encourage others that are going through, whether it's a health issue or any storm in life, just trying to encourage them and hopefully give them some tips and ideas on how to get through the journey and make it out.
Make it through the other side.
Make it through the other
and be
side.
overcomers.
And be
in the
overcomers,
process.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so 17 years. Just give us kind of a quick rundown on what, like you have a list.
Yes, yes.
Right? We don't need the long
No.
version, but just kind of a quick, so people, our readers can know what this book is really even going to be about, what you've been through.
Okay, well, in 2003, I was diagnosed with cancer and had open heart surgery to remove a tumor. And thank goodness, the day after surgery, I was considered cancer-free. Started running marathons after that. And
Right?
yeah,
Let's see. I just had surgery. Let's run marathons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And, yeah, and then was doing fairly well health-wise. And then in 2007 was diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's. And my first question to the doctor was, can I keep running? And he said yes. So
So you did.
I did that, and I went skydiving that weekend to celebrate having Parkinson's. And yeah, so kept running. Woke up on January 1st of 2008 and felt God calling me to run 1,000 miles that year and share the story that He was allowing me to tell. So I said, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. So ran over 1,000 miles that year, and then 2009 I was rushed to the hospital in March of 2009 and given 24 hours to live, and was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis, which attacks your muscles and makes them weak. And
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Clara, shame on you.
Okay.
How embarrassing.
That's all right.
So tell us a little bit more about that one. It attacks your stomach.
No, myasthenia gravis attacks your muscles. So
Muscles.
basically, like if you were running your muscles would tire out, and then they would kind of fire back after a little bit of rest. My muscles just fire and they don't strengthen back. So it's kind of like it's kind of, basically it's kind of eating your muscles away.
Okay.
And after that I was told that I could no longer run, and didn't have the ability to do that, and was told that I could no longer work. But like I said, I was given, when Laura took me into the hospital, it was March 19th of 2009. They said I wouldn't see March 20th. Woke up March 20th, and 2 weeks later walked out of ICU and went home.
Wow.
And then they said you wouldn't make it through the year, and here we are in 2018, and
You're still here.
I'm still here, so I am famously known as the man that refuses to die.
Well, this is good. This is a
Yes,
good thing,
yes.
right? Your wife appreciates
Yes.
that
He
you
still has
refused to-
purpose. So I
He
Yeah,
still has a
still have
purpose.
purpose in life, yeah.
So you didn't touch on this, but because of your last diagnosis, you have not eaten.
Right, I was diagnosed with gastroparesis.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that was the next.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was in 2015. Had a gastro pacemaker put in, which stimulates your stomach. Successful in some ways, but didn't give me my appetite back. So I actually haven't had an appetite or been thirsty in almost 4 years now. So But
And not able to, physically not able to eat.
right, physically, it's just my muscles don't work to allow me to easily digest food. So it's just very painful.
They put a feeding tube in.
So they put a feeding tube in last year. So I have been living off the feeding tube for the last year
Wow. Until recently,
until recently. Yes.
when something happened. What was that?
Yeah. Last
Tell
month.
us that.
Last month, my doctors had sent me up to Emory University in Atlanta to see some specialist about a new procedure that I actually found online, and called my doctors and said, hey, could I have this procedure? So went up and met with the doctors there and had to have some tests done, so I came back to West Palm Beach, or Jupiter, where we live, and had the test done. And I've had these tests done pretty much once a year for the last 4 or 5 years, and they've always come back positive. You've got gastroparesis, your stomach muscles don't work properly. Basically, they're paralyzed. But when I was in Atlanta, I really felt God telling me that I would eat again. And when I met with the doctors there, I just posed the question. I said, Doc, what happens if the tests come back negative? And he goes, Todd, why would they come back negative? They never come back negative, from what your report tells me. He goes, if they come back negative, you just don't do the procedure. So I saw my oncologist the day before I had the procedures, and it's almost like God said, ask him that same question. So I said, Doc, what happens if the tests come back negative? And he just kind of laughed and said, why would the test come back negative? And I said, I'm just asking. And sure enough, all 3 tests came back negative. So I am now, the last 4 weeks, I have been drinking Ensures, and I have been off my feeding tube. It's still connected to my body, and that will be like that for some time now, until we can figure out if this is going to be, it's going to last. But yeah, I haven't used my feeding tube, and I'm on my 4th week.
Wow. Exciting.
Amazing.
That is
And I
exciting.
haven't lost weight, and I've gained a pound.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
So the journey goes on.
So
They call it this crazy, beautiful journey. And when we
Right.
first met them, we were so excited to be asked to participate in this project. They have this wonderful, beautiful story. I can't wait for you guys to finish the book so that we can get it out there for the
Yes.
world to just see this amazing, beautiful journey that you've been on. Wow, wow. We so much appreciate that you guys have such a positive attitude,
yeah.
right? So you have spent a lot of time, because now you can't work, right?
Correct.
Right. So you spend a lot of time on social media.
I do.
Right.
I do. The reluctant one who never wanted to be on social media is now
on
social media king. Yeah.
And encouraging others, right?
Yeah, that's my only purpose for being on social media, is to educate people on different topics and to encourage people.
That's amazing. That's amazing stuff. So, you are doing a couple of things right now. You have a GoFundMe, correct?
Correct.
And that is helping to fund the production of your book that comes out
Correct.
next year. We will put that information for all of you who would like to participate in this journey with them. We'll put that in the comments below this video, so that if you'd like, you can click on and you could help support them in this journey.
Thank you.
Blessedovercomer.
It's
I have
just go
it.
to GoFundMe, and it's just the Blessed Overcomers.
Blessed Overcomer.
And you'll see our picture
Okay.
there
There's
and our story.
Okay, but you
And I-
have a blog as well.
I do have a blog,
And that is
theblessedovercomer.org.
.org is your blog.
Right.
Okay. And then can they connect with you on any other social media?
They can connect with me on Facebook at The Blessed Overcomer,
Blessed Overcomer.
or on Twitter at The Blessed OC.
The Blessed OC. Okay, yeah, because they'll notice when you're on Facebook, people people call him the OC, or he refers to himself as the OC. That's
Yes.
Overcomer.
Right, yeah, that was a nickname one of the doctors gave me.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so we've talked to you the whole time.
Yes.
We're going to give Laura just a couple of
Good.
minutes.
My better half.
Your better half. So this has been an amazing journey for you as well.
It has.
Right?
It has. And I had no idea when we married what a journey it would be, what an adventure it would be, and how God was going to use our story to encourage others, to bring hope to others, whatever they're facing or struggling with. I think that also through the Lord,
Right.
the blessings of His hope and His grace and His mercy, and we're living examples of that. So this is just like the cherry on top of our journey.
Of your journey. You know, we're going to go to break really quick. We're having some mic difficulties, so it's just, I think it's probably a fabric issue with that beautiful blouse you have on. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll come right back and pick up where we left off.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Of Todd.
Yeah.
And we're back. Thanks so much for coming back and joining us. Want to take just a couple of minutes to say hello to some of our friends who are online checking in with us?
Absolutely. Thank you for joining in, Cinda Harris and Dawn McLaughlin, Melanie
friends.
Deal, some great friends online, Barbara Marville Kelly,
Hi,
Rich
Barb.
Rieger, and a friend of Todd and Laura's, Gail. I lost the last name from the stream, but thank you, everybody. We're having such a good time here talking and interacting with
Thank you,
all of
Gail.
you. We did add to the stream the web address for Todd's blog and
good.
also the web address for the GoFundMe account for those who are interested. So,
Okay, nice.
Laura, it's so nice to be with you.
Thank you so much for this
And we've
opportunity.
got
I'm excited.
three lovely ladies here.
Yes.
So Clara was already
Absolutely.
talking a bit about yours and Todd's crazy, beautiful journey, as you call it, and all of its ups and downs and challenges. And you're going to be contributing a small portion of the book as a caregiver
Yes.
from that perspective. So talk to us a
Yes.
little bit about that, about being a caregiver and what that means to you.
So for me, it's been an amazing journey in that Todd's so easy to love. He's a great patient. He's so consistent in being respectful and kind to everyone, including me. And so for me, becoming a caregiver, taking on that role, I was learning from scratch, and you are balancing your role in life of being a breadwinner. I'm the primary breadwinner since he's on full disability due to health, and learning how to be an advocate for him, and being certain they're following through with medical responsibilities and tests, but also trying to hold down full-time job. And in the midst of it, I'm learning also about incorporating my own self-care.
Right.
So there's a balance through the different roles, and many of us frequently play different roles in life. You wear different hats.
Sure.
So with being a caregiver also, I also want to respect Todd's wishes, his dignity. He's still his own person.
Right.
I'm his helpmate. So finding that balance too through the journey. And we use lots of humor through our journey. Sometimes people don't understand our humor, but that's
We think it's
okay.
hilarious.
I love your humor, but I kind of like dark humor sometimes.
Sometimes it's a little on the darker side, but funny stuff, that's for
She'll
sure.
say, "Whoa, slow down! You're crossing over, my friend." But
It keeps us.
it keeps it interesting,
It keeps
right?
us laughing, and when you can't laugh, then you really need to worry. And for us, we're even in the midst of medical challenges, we'll take the medical challenges over marital challenges any day. That's
Right.
kind of been one of our taglines in life. And we still try to search for opportunities to create memories. There's times Todd's not feeling his best, but he's still such a trooper. We'll have day trips. We'll create memories in whatever we're doing, and remember to laugh in the process.
Absolutely. So today's one of those day trips. Todd and Laura actually live in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah.
They traveled here to Newport Richey a few months ago to meet with Claire and I the first time, and it was such a pleasure to meet them and hear their story. And we are so honored that you have asked us to be a part of sharing your message with the world. But so we're one of those trips, right?
We are one of
Today
those
they're back
trips.
again with us,
Yeah.
and I think I'm going to use them living in Jupiter as an excuse to head over to the East Coast and dip my toes in the Atlantic Ocean some weekend.
Absolutely.
But hey, that's great. So Laura, one of the things that you're passionate about is patient advocacy. And you touched on that just a little bit when you were talking about being a caregiver and really telling us like how you stay so positive, because that was one of the things that I know Claire and I were most impressed with when we met you and Todd. Like, wow, they've been through so much and they're so positive. And we had such a good time. We laughed so hard. And they were telling us a story that they said is about a pregnant lady, get this one, a pregnant lady, okay, in a flood, stuck in a tree, getting ready to give birth, okay? So they said their philosophy in life was as long as they weren't getting ready to give birth in a tree over raging flood waters, that everything was okay.
Hey,
I don't know about that perspective, but hey, whatever.
it's not such a bad day.
Right, but in
put
the
it in
meantime,
perspective.
you want to advocate so patients don't find themselves in a tree over raging flood waters ready to
Giving
give
birth.
birth.
About to give birth.
Share with our audience some of what you've learned.
So I've learned to share our experiences as helpful tools if someone is going through medical challenges or going through life challenges. But as a patient advocate, I feel that individuals when they first become ill, it's a whole new experience. It can be overwhelming. So we encourage others to take a friend with you to that first appointment, to that 10th appointment. You need an extra set of eyes and ears because it's an emotionally engaging situation that you just need some extra support there. And for me, I write everything down because I'm already emotionally invested in the situation. I'm going to miss things. So I can read the notes afterwards. Todd and I will go out for a meal. I'll be eating, he may not. And so we'll talk and chat after that. What did that doctor say in that situation? And have some reflection time. And also I try to encourage friends of family that are ill, that a lot of folks don't understand when someone becomes ill, even if they're in the hospital, they need some companionship or they need some support. A lot of times I'll work from the hospital and I'll have my computer and laptop up so that when Todd has doctors that come in and they give them lots of information, test results, we're going to do this, this, and this, there's an extra set of ears in there, you know, and that's a way to support someone in the hospital as well. Having someone there makes all the difference. In addition, just companionship, but it's a unique sense of support for them.
Absolutely.
So we're going to share more in the book, but it's been such a journey that we really feel it's worth sharing some of our life experiences and how the Lord's brought us through these things or enlightened us and realized after the struggling situation, okay, God brought us through that. Then he can bring others through some of their situations.
Absolutely, and they can be blessed overcomers too, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you have, not only are you Todd's caregiver and an advocate for him, but you have a job that puts you in a very special position to advocate to a very special group of people. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I feel very fortunate that I can serve children in foster care. So I work for the school district in Palm Beach County, and I serve kids that are school age that are in foster care. So I am a one-man band, one-woman band, and
But not the tiny violin.
no, exactly. It's about the work, and no time to sit and poor me. Exactly. You've got to get out there and serve these kids. So with my job for several years now, I've had an opportunity to serve kids, supporting them in their education, when they're in transition from home to home, trying to keep them in their home school so they have some kind of consistency in the midst of, at times, chaos. So with that, it can be very emotionally challenging. And I work diligently to compartmentalize and in a healthy way so that when I'm home, I'm present to the best of my ability and have some moments of quality with Todd. But my job it can be very demanding.
Yes.
And I have to remember to pray often.
I bet, well, we all do, but you have a really creative way of letting down your hair that we're going to also be incorporating into this book. So
I'm excited.
Yeah?
I'm excited. It was your brainchild that brought this up.
I've had a few brain children in my days, and a few real children too, if you know me.
6. She has 6.
Just a few.
A couple children. Yeah. Crazy woman.
So when we first met, so when Todd and I first met, the two of you, you noticed that I was doodling. Love to doodle. So one of my outlets in life is to work on art, all different forms of art. When it comes to just painting, glass art, ceramics, just doodling. So I am going to incorporate some of my doodles in my little section. I told Todd, I said, I just want a small section. I don't want a chapter. So I just want to enhance and support his work and his story. So I'll be adding some of my doodles into each of my sections. So I'm excited about that.
Exactly. So Barb and Marva Kelly, blah, 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 says, you know who you are, such a need to help caregivers keep their sanity. What excellent talking points. So that's great.
Thank you.
And hi, Maureen Wilson. Thanks for joining us. And Donna is saying hello, Todd and Laura. And hi, Fran.
Oh.
So we've got a few friends joining us.
Thank you.
And we're so excited about the artwork that you're going
We
to
really
be adding
are.
to the
Yeah.
book. It's going to add a piece, I think, stressless coloring pages.
Adult coloring
and
kind of idea.
that
Yeah,
type
it
of
has that
thing's going to
feel.
be there. So this book is going to be the whole package. We're really excited
We are
about it.
excited.
It's all about your journey. It's a journey of hope, a journey of love, and the two of you, just what you have together is so wonderful. And it's just it's just awesome to be a part of it.
It
isn't
really is. We got our first glimpse today at the covers, or the potential covers. So that was exciting to see those
I
first
love it.
Super
Yeah.
excited.
pieces come together. If you don't know much about how a book comes together, we spend a little bit of time in the beginning when we brainstorm and blueprint for the content of the book, talking about all the different pieces. And there's so much more than you could ever believe, right? There's so much more.
I learned so much in the first 8 hours, let alone 16 hours with the two of you. Amazing.
There's a crazy amount that goes into the production of a book, and it's so fun to watch all of the pieces as they start to come together. We're in the writing process right now, and the editing process.
Absolutely.
But those first pieces, when the book cover comes in, now pretty soon we'll be able to solidify a book cover, and then pre-sales can start. That's
so
exciting.
excited. I'm very excited.
Do you think you guys will do
Absolutely.
a pre-launch party, or have you made any plans?
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Well, Todd is
possible.
available to come out and speak at churches. So
Yes,
if you're
he
watching,
does
you're a
that.
member of a church, and you believe your church would like to hear Todd's story, he is available to come out and speak at your church.
Absolutely.
So
Very nice. Have you gone with him and done any speaking for the women's groups?
I can possibly do that. I have not yet.
I think you would be
That's a
awesome
great
at
idea.
that. That is a
Thank
great
you.
idea,
That's
isn't
a
it?
great idea.
and I just found out today that Todd and Laura are actually featured in another book.
Really?
So it
Do
is
tell.
called Juggling. What is it? Juggling something? I
The
don't-
Blessed Juggle.
The Blessed,
Blessed
Juggle,
Juggle.
by Steph Fink. And they are featured in Day 11, which is titled Today's a New Day. And that is how Todd starts his Facebook posts,
Yes.
right, every day?
He does.
He's become known for his posts, and folks ask him, "Where are you online? I haven't seen you today. Today's a new day. What's today's quote about?" So it took off when he started that, I don't know how many years ago. So a friend of his in the anti-trafficking arena had reached out to him, and he can tell you more about that.
Yeah.
And you guys just did a trip not that long ago about that, didn't you? Was that
We
an
had the
anti-trafficking
most incredible, eye-opening, soul-opening experience going to Montgomery, Alabama, and we had the opportunity to attend a peace and justice summit, and experienced history in a whole new way, to become an advocate even more for the injustices of the world, for those that do not have a voice. And he might have to tell you all the details about that, of names and everything, but Brian Stevenson put together this summit, first annual, and I would love to make it an annual trip for us. But we spent probably about 5-6 days just experiencing and absorbing and learning. I have so much more to learn to become an advocate for the injustices in the world, and that all are treated equally and fairly, with dignity and respect. So it was an incredible trip. Montgomery, Alabama. We got to go to Rosa Parks Museum. They had the everything was just very powerful. So
Very cool. So really, you have always been an advocate, but you're now advocating even wider, right? You're
Yes.
getting more opportunity to advocate in different ways.
I'm excited.
So what's one word for advocacy that you know, people who advocate, people who are putting energy out there every day, what one word would you throw out at them to stay focused and energized for themselves?
To be a strong voice. We'll hyphenate that.
Strong voice.
Dash voice.
Yes. Okay.
It's not one word. I
It's
know
not one
that.
word. That's
Well,
okay.
we're all
Strong
about
voice.
the strong voice
Strong
here at
voice. That's
Rosedale.
right. That's right. Okay, so thank you so much for spending
Thank
this time
you.
with us. We're going to wrap up here, and next we're going to have Todd come back and talk with us a little bit more about his piece and his story before we are done today. So thank you
you.
so much for coming and spending this time with us today. We appreciate you guys trekking all the way over
We
from
don't
the other
appreciate
side.
them. We love
them. We do love them. They're really amazing.
love you guys.
Okay. All right. We're out of here. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
And we're back. Welcome back. So you may have noticed that Laura looks different now, right? Welcome back, Todd.
Thank you.
We kicked your
Thank you.
lovely wife out of your seat. We want to hear from you now.
Alrighty.
We're so glad to have you here.
It's an honor to be here.
That's great. So one of the things that we like to say is that, you know, and it's true, content is the power tool of modern influence. And Todd has been using that content, that power tool on social media to
Right.
get, you've been doing that to get your message out for
Right,
quite a
yeah.
while now. So share with us some of the ways that you are sharing your message on social media.
Well, I mean, just to go back when I first got sick again in 2009, I had never been on Facebook, social media at all, and didn't want any part of it. But Laura was being just overwhelmed with phone calls from family and friends, and she said, I just can't do this by myself. She goes, I created you a Facebook page, so you need to update people. So the more I got comfortable with it, one day I just started, today is a new day, and posted something, and that just kind of took off. And I think Laura mentioned in the last segment, if I don't do that by 7 or 8 o'clock each morning, I'm getting emails and notes like, are you okay? Are you in the hospital?
Where are you?
You know? So it just kind of took off, and as I got more involved in patient advocacy and working as an abolitionist, I just started using Facebook more and more to not only get my story out, but to get stories of those that are voiceless, to get their stories out.
Absolutely. So Todd is definitely an advocate for justice and for others. And as he shared with me, as many of us often want to do, he wanted to be part of something that was bigger than himself or bigger than your problems, right? Your medical issues. So you call yourself a missionary.
Correct.
And an abolitionist.
Correct.
Okay. So share with our audience like what that means for you.
You know, of course, when I share that I'm a missionary with people are always like, oh, what country are you doing work in? And I'm like, right here, locally, and in my area. And I just encourage people when I'm at the doctor's office. I spend an average of close to 100 days a year in the hospital. So I have a lot of time. And I just felt if I'm going to be in the hospital, or if I'm going to be sitting in doctor's offices for hours upon hours, why not put that to use in a positive manner instead of just going in there? Because, I mean, we've all been in doctor's offices, and we've all been in hospitals, and they're just not the most uplifting places.
Right.
So I thought, well, let me just switch this. Let me make this an event. So, I mean, I'll do Facebook Lives from the hospital and from my doctor's appointments, but I always try to find a person that looks like life is just really smacked them in the face. And I say, you know, how can I pray for you? Or do you want to talk? And in the 17 years that I've been going to the hospital and to the doctor's office, I've never had anyone say, no, you can't pray for me, and didn't want to tell me their story. Now, they may not go overboard like I do a lot of times with sharing their story, but I mean, just an example, I was, the last time I was in the hospital, this lady kept walking by my room, and we'd say hi, and, you know, how are you doing? And I knew she wasn't a patient, but she kept going into this room, and for me, I never liked my door closed at the hospital. I always want it open so I can see people coming and going. But the room she went into always closed, and no one ever came out but her. So I was walking the halls one day, and I'm famous for walking the halls of the hospital, and I even put like this little indention where I've walked so much into the floor, but I figure if I can't run marathons, I'm going to get my miles in
Somewhere.
somehow. But I'm walking, and this person comes up behind me and hugs me, and I hear this voice that I don't recognize, and I'm like, who in the world? Do they have the wrong person? Do they think I'm somebody else? And he goes, thank you so much. And I'm like, do I know you? And he goes, you don't know what you've done for my mom. And I'm like, who's your mom? He goes, oh, we're in the room across from you. And she said that you're so positive. You're always speaking life into everybody that walks by. And she said, that's helping her through this. She goes, my sister, her daughter is, I think she was in her 20s, has cancer and is not dealing with it very well. And the mom had been depressed, and she said, since she's been coming here and you've been here, her spirits have been lifted. So for me, if all these 17 years of being sick was just for that one lady, then I'm good.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
right?
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. So that's the missionary part,
Right, right.
And so tell us a little bit about the abolitionist. And Laura started to tell us about the I forget what it
Justice
is, the
Conference,
Justice
yeah.
Conference that you went to last month. So tell us more about that, because she just whetted our appetite.
Well, in 2007, I first heard about human trafficking, and I was watching a news story, and I thought, that just can't be true in America. I mean, I've heard about it in other countries, but I'm like, that just can't be true in America. So me being a person who loves to do research and who doesn't sleep a lot, as you guys know, people can catch me online at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I will say hello and talk to you as all you want. But so I started doing research, and I started thinking, wow. And then Florida is always in the top 3 in the nation for human trafficking.
Sadly.
Texas, California, and Florida. And we just kind of flip-flop. And you were talking about Ohio earlier. Ohio's in the top 5. And so I thought, what can I do? And I used to tell Laura, I used to say, if I could quit my job today, and this is before I got sick again, if I could quit my job today, I would be an abolitionist for free. I'd never charge for anything. And when I got sick again in 2009, and the doctors finally told me, Todd, you're not going to be able to work again, and you're going to have to retire. So I'm laying in my hospital room, and God usually speaks to me about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just heard him say, Todd, you remember when you said you would do this for free and work as an abolitionist? You're going to have all the time in the world to do that. So since that day, since I'm not allowed to do a lot of traveling, and of course not any traveling out of the country at this point due to my health, I said, well, I kind of like social media, and I'm pretty good at it, so let me see who needs help. So several different organizations have asked me to help with their Facebook pages and their social media accounts, and they all want to pay me, and I'm just like, no, God told me I'm supposed to do this for free. Use that money to help a victim. So that's what I've been doing pretty much full-time since 2009.
Wow.
Share with our audience the names of some of those organizations.
We're just about out of time.
Oh, are we?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wow,
that
that
went
went
so
fast.
fast.
If people go to my Facebook page, they'll see all that information. There are the different organizations that I help out with.
So the Blessed OC
The Blessed OC, that's on
for
Twitter.
Facebook. Oh, Blessed
Yes.
Overcomers on Facebook, though.
Blessed Overcomers
Okay.
on Facebook, and
Okay.
then the Blessed OC is my
On your
Twitter
Twitter.
account.
Okay.
And
So-
you can follow Todd's blog at theblessedovercomer.org.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And I talk about all different topics there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you
today.
so much for having us.
Thank you to you guys for joining us out there. We will see you next month on Rosedale Conversations.